have been watching races in Indianapolis since 1963 when I first came here as a kid and sat in the stands just behind where we are right now. I've never seen action as good as this on the racetrack.
Well, I'll agree with that, and I go back a few years further than that, Sam.
And you look at, too.
He's coming across the short chute, followed by Rick Mears, Al Unser, and now Al is being challenged by his son for third place. Mario Andretti drops to fourth. Danny Sullivan leads down the backstretch. Then Mears. Now watch this fight here. Yellow flag is out as a car against the wall.
Seems that the radios perhaps are not working right.
That could be. Radio's not very reliable here, as well as we all know.
Here is the battle for third place. The defending champion, Al Unser, his son, Unser Jr., right behind.
Well, Al and his dad are really going at it. They have a race just like they were going for the lead. But I think that they're both kind of showing us that they've got 500 miles almost to go yet.
Well, we've talked about teams and whether or not teams would get together, but what about families? Have these two talked?
No, they definitely don't get together. There is no game plan with them at all, or between them. They actually run their own race. And in fact, at times, as we watch their racing, we wonder if they don't run a little bit harder.
You're watching the fight for third place. Danny Sullivan leads it, chased by Rick Mears. This is Al Unser, the family Unser. Senior and junior as they fight for third. Second place, Rick Mears, the first yellow car. Then Al Unser, and then his son, as little Al tries to get Dad as they come onto the main stretch now. Slower traffic just ahead, and three drivers who are brilliant at holding on to that traffic just ahead. Little Al drops back just a bit. Big Al closes in on Rick Mears. A tremendous fight for second.
Boy, that is a fight. And here's Mario coming up behind. We're having a better race early in the race than I've seen in a long time, Paul.
So we're watching second, third, fourth, and fifth. Mario Andretti just off the edge. That white car off the edge of your screen as the front of the field begins to close down in second place. And here comes Al trying to come past Rick Mears, and little Al tries it as well. He's forced down on the inside. Rick Mears holds on to the high side. Look at that fight. Al Unser has second place now. Little Al has third. Rick Mears drops back to fourth, followed by Mario Andretti.
You can watch little Al. He's to the left trying to get some clean air. All he thinks he needs is a little bit of traction. He's going to go right by his father. Now, I have to think if there's something wrong with Rick Mears, well, probably, look at Mario go by. Probably going to make an adjustment to his car when he comes to the pit for him.
Well, here is a fight for third place right now. The family Unser continues their battle. Al Unser Jr. and his dad. It is Al Unser that is in front at the moment. Battle for third place.
Everybody's finding it difficult to get by Bobby Rahal, so it must be a little bit. There's a shot of little Al and Big Al in the back of Rahal. That's a beautiful shot, Paul.
As little Al and Big Al continue to battle, and just in front of them, two slower cars that they will have to engage in just a moment. What a great shot from Bobby Rahal's cars. Little Al now breaks off from his dad and breaks off the fight. Shut engine, and they say that he'll go farther with the same load of fuel. Look at Al come to the inside. Ari Lyondike, Al Unser Jr. all fighting, and Big Al gets around his son as they head toward the first turn in an absolute traffic jam.
Boy, that was a good pass. He had a real good toe. He whipped the car completely to his left. He had a good enough toe where he had to go for all of it right there, Paul.
I have been watching races in Indianapolis since 1963 when I first came here as a kid and sat in the stands just behind where we are right now. I've never seen action as good as this on the racetrack.
Well, I'll agree with that, and I go back a few years further than that, Sam.
And you look at, too.
Danny Sullivan out in front, and he leads by a full 23 seconds. And then that wonderful battle between second, third, and fourth. We'll be back. And, Bobby, that's got to be fun for the two of them.
Oh, it really is, because there is no game plan like we talked about earlier. They're honest to goodness racing each other very hard.
So Al Unser runs in third place and currently leads his son running in fourth.
What I admire about what Big Al is able to do at this point is the hardest thing, if you haven't been racing in the other races this year, Phoenix and Long Beach, is to have a good feel for how your car is going to handle in turbulence. Last year, you remember, he came to the team right at the last minute and dropped way back in the early laps. In fact, as we see Lyondike peel off to the pit, Al Unser had been lapped by this point in the race last year. That much of a big deal.
On the track itself, the battle continues. Now it is for second place as little Al tries inside of his father once again, goes way below the line, and has to be very careful as he comes back up above it onto the backstretch. The fight is for second. Lyondike is in the pits. He was second.
Boy, that's a tough race right there, Paul. So Al's running clear down to the grass trying to pass Daddy. And ironically, his dad is leaving him no room to get by.
All right, but there are two kinds of trust operating between these two men out there right now. One is the trust that exists between two great racing drivers, as we see Lyondike coming back out of the pit. The other kind of trust, and this is the best racing we've seen, Little Al, is the trust between father and son. You almost couldn't have a more ideal situation for a battle.
I guess Uncle Bobby'd have to say that was a little too close.
Well, I'll tell you, they came as close to the inside wall on this track as I've ever seen them run.
Bobby, just as a friend of the family, I think that was a little too tough.
So little Al Unser Jr. moves into second place behind the leader, Danny Sullivan, and this fight has carried second place a bit forward. Danny Sullivan now only has a 15-second advantage over Al Unser Jr. Third place is now Al Unser Sr.
But 15 seconds is a cushion, though, that is almost the third of the track. So if you picture it, and by the way, the lead drivers always carry in their mind a good picture of where the opposition